Joining the show tonight, this guy's a borderline media pro at this point, deservedly so. Big part of the championship run, the Cinderella story, if you will, at Cortland this year. It's wide receiver Cole Burgess. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm pumped to get you on here. Do you guys identify as a Cinderella, or is this a Jack Golke situation after Kentucky? Not a Cinderella.
Nah, I mean, if you look at it, we were Cinderella, but in our program, we knew what we had, so we don't think we were Cinderella, but in the grand scheme of things, Cinderella story.
Good quality answer, appealed to both sides of it. But you're right? Like you guys in that locker room, there's never like we'll just get to the first or second round and then that'll be good. Like if you're in the playoffs, we were just talking with Coach Parsons, like you're in the playoffs, there's 30-some teams out of 240 or something ridiculous. The teams that are in there belong there for the most part. And if you're in there, man, you're planning on playing all the way. But what have the last couple of months been like since that championship game for you, brother?
It's been cool. Cooled off from the championship hype, and now it's just all draft, NFL hype. Scouts hitting my phone, calling me, meetings, just a lot of stuff going on at once, and just keeps snowball effect. And once the draft happens, then it's gonna kind of all. I feel like it's gonna slow down a little bit, but I know it's gonna speed up in another wave. So I'm just taking it for what it is, day by day, and enjoying the process.
Best way to do it, man. Enjoy where you're at, where your feet are right now. Side note, did you guys ever send a gift basket to the kicker from Grove City?
I did not. I don't know if anybody else. We got a big team. I'm sure somebody might have messaged them or something.
Like, I don't know, like maybe like little flowers, little thank you. I don't know, maybe a gift card, find out what his favorite like restaurant is or something.
If I get drafted, I'll give him something nice, Dude. I might not be drafted if he doesn't miss that kick.
When that happens, not if, when that happens, right? Manifest it. But when that does happen, we got to break that story. That'd be hilarious. And I'm sure you'd appreciate it, get a free lunch out of it.
Yeah, he would.
That'd be pretty cool. But let's talk about the pro days, right? Syracuse, Buffalo, you get into both of those. For a lot of people at our level, the D2, D3, NAI, whatever it is, man, it's tough to get in front of the right eyes, right? Because that process, you talk about your representation and trying to get NFL scouts interested enough in you that they're going to vouch for you and they're going to get you in those environments in front of those right eyes. But you go there, put up what I would assume some numbers that you're really happy with, man. Tell me about that experience and what you learned through that.
Yeah, I was definitely happy with those numbers. I mean,
hell yeah.
The broad jump and the bench, those were both PRs for me. I didn't even touch those when I was training throughout the spring.
Dude. I love that.
To it. Yeah, I was shocked when I did that, to be honest. But it was cool. I forget how many scouts were at each, but there was a good amount at each. And it was nice to have all those eyes on me when I was doing my drills, running routes, doing all the other stuff. So I also got to talk to some after, which was nice. And yeah, overall it was a good experience. I'll say one thing, I was super nervous. I mean, I don't know if anybody watching this, if you have a pro day, like I played at the championship, but there was no nerves I felt like before I was going on the bench and then the broad jump. I never felt that before. It was insane.
I believe that, dude. What's the mindset like going into those? Is it because you said you hit two of those numbers that you maybe hadn't even seen those before? Do you go into it with a target kind of range, or is it more of the approach of, hey, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do my thing and do it to the best of my ability, whatever the number is, that's what it is?
Nah, I mean, I had goals. I had goals for everything that I was doing, and throughout training, those two months or whatever it was, I'm doing those drills multiple times a week, so I know where I'm at and what I can hit. So I set my goals higher than what I think I can get, just so anything can happen. I want to shoot high, aim for the stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my plan going in, and as a Division III athlete, my mindset going in is I gotta turn heads with the pro day. I mean, if my numbers aren't there, then my chances of making it are slim. So I knew I had to go and put up elite numbers, and I feel like I did that. I didn't get good numbers in my pro agility and my 3-cone at Buffalo. The turf wasn't the best, so I reran them in Syracuse, and then I hit the numbers that I wanted to. So overall, all the numbers I had were good for me.
Yeah, and you were wondering how many teams were there. I'll tell you what, it was over 20 NFL teams. At least I believe that was the Syracuse number. That's ridiculous. The numbers you also hit, ridiculous. You definitely showed out in that one. I love who does the RAS scores, little bomb logo. I'm blanking, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen them. I don't know who does them, but it's
a lot of green. Yeah. Hey, a lot of green on there.
A lot of green.
A lot of green on there. We like that. What was the one red box? Like your weight?
I think it was my height. Maybe
was it height?
Like,
come on, like, yeah. Just more to the story, man. Just more to the story. But the quote
Yeah.
from you that I love, and I want to talk about, there's a couple of them, but the first one, the further you go, the less teams there are, the more eyes are on you. Obviously, talking about the playoff run, especially being a D3 football guy, you get another step and another step deeper into that playoff run. It's one thing to be there in the playoffs. It's another thing to show up and show out and ball out for your guys. Talk about how important those postseason games are in terms of putting really good tape out there and being evaluated at the next level for small school guys.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, speaking for myself, I've played in big games before, and I put up crazy numbers throughout my career. But I never, when I got into the big games, I never felt like I did my what I knew I could do. So this last season, when I got to on those stages, you know, on ESPN for the finals and the semifinals, like
Hell yeah.
I made it a point. I wanted to just do what I knew I could do, and doing that was going to help the team. So I was able to do that, thankfully, and it was just a great experience because I had a lot of people back home watching, and I knew, like you said, the further you go, the less teams, the more eyes are on you. I knew that scouts were watching, going up against the best competition in my level. So I needed to show out against the best teams in my level to make a case for myself to play at the next level, and that's what I did, and helped out my team in a major way. And we got the ring. We get that ring next week.
Big time, big time. Yeah, we looked at what was it, GV and Alma this last week. Whenever y'all get that video posted, we get it over here. We'll take a look, we'll critique it, break it down, but most importantly, just celebrate y'all, man. But when you're talking about that film, I feel like that's probably the most important piece of film for these small school guys are those moments in the playoffs against really top caliber competition. When you're putting together your reel, or you and your agent, whoever's representing you, when you're kind of putting together that stuff, are a lot of those things coming first? Is that a priority? What's the feedback, if you've heard any, about that kind of tape? I would assume that's the most important part of kind of your little portfolio outside of the numbers and some of the measurables.
Yeah, my agent John Perez, shout out him. He's doing a lot of work behind the scenes. But he said when I was making my highlight tape, he wanted to put the big plays first. He said that put the the first play in my highlight was the game winner and the champion, or the go ahead touchdown in the championship. Yeah. So I put that, and then like other plays to show my versatility, like a kickoff return, a pooch kick against Ithaca my freshman year, just those plays, and then some nice catches. But yeah, definitely having the championship plays early on was I want to do that for myself just because those are some of my favorite plays.
Dude, yeah, and then you got someone looking at the film, and you're like, "Whoa, I thought we were watching a D3 kid. This guy's on ESPN. What are we? That pulled the wrong. You know what I mean? Like this is legit. This is exactly what's got going on." But yeah. Potentially the better quote from you, and the one that we might need to get put somewhere in the studio here. Got to make it to where the air is rare. That is. Do you even remember saying that?
I can't take credit for that. I can't.
Where does that come from? Because whoever it is, I got to give them their flowers, bro. I love that.
Coach Mack, he was my first college coach before Coach Fitz came to Cortland, and he had a repertoire of quotes like that. And
Good word choice.
That was one of the quotes that stuck with me. Another quote that he's infamous for is "keep your fork." Like when you're eating food, like you always keep your fork for dessert. There's more to come. You know what I mean? Like right now, I got my fork. I'm waiting to go to the league.
That's good, dude. Keep your fork. Got to make it where the air is rare. I'm listening. You know, I do my little research on the guys that are coming on the show, just watching some other stuff you've done. I think it was after the Syracuse Pro Day. It was like that little interview. And I got it on the second monitor while I'm doing something else. And I did like a little, I hit pause, had to play that one back. I was like, man, he definitely had that one prepped. He was spitting bars on that. I loved it. But great to see. Coach Mack. I absolutely do. This dude sounds like he's full of just great stuff. But glad to see your name. You talked about that snowball effect earlier. I think that's very real because your name gets brought up in one ring, and now all of a sudden you're a part of a lot of different conversations, right? So glad to see your name and a couple other small school guys getting thrown into the conversation now when it comes to draft prospects. How much do you or can you read into some of those tweets and other things that you see out there? How much does that mean to you, or how much do you kind of want to say, hey, just like, it might mean something, it might not, try to stay pretty level-headed?
Yeah, you got to stay level-headed, like especially for people like in my position, like the prospects. Like that stuff's cool to look at, but I take it with a grain of salt. A lot of those people tweeting, they're just tweeting because they're a fan of the NFL. They like to break it down, but in reality, nothing matters except for what the NFL teams and their scouts are evaluating me as.
Amen.
That's really all it is. But it's cool to look at. I got my friends, my parents sending me that stuff all the time, and it's cool. Like I've always looked at those tweets before, and now like I'm in the tweets, so seeing like one thing that's crazy is like seeing myself in the mock drafts. That's
Yes, dude,
surreal for me.
that's ridiculous. That is really cool.
I saw one mock draft of me going to the Chiefs in the 7th round, first
Yep.
pick in the 7th round. And I wouldn't be opposed to that. I would not be opposed to that.
Trust me, I saw the tweet. That was pretty cool. Because you said grew up a Jets guy, right? But you're like Chiefs, Bengals. Like you've diversified your fandom a little bit. It sounds like, right?
Yeah, I had to. Like I went to Cortland. I like to win. Like, it's hard to be a fan of a team that just does not win. So I ventured off.
I get it, dude. I get it. Let's talk about that Cortland team. Over this past year, man, over 500 yards a game offensively is just absurd. When it comes down to it, though, the defense at a lot of ways throughout that playoff process there in those different rounds, they stepped up big time. And that wasn't maybe a calling card for you guys at certain points during the regular season. But then you go to that national championship game in the first half, I guess specifically of that Stag Bowl, man. It just defense was holding on and really keeping you guys in it. How does their identity change, if at all, of that team moving forward? Obviously, you guys losing some big pieces, but also retaining some as well. Kind of, everyone goes through that, but a good mix of that. How does that identity change, if at all, moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can never count out our offense with Coach Fitz calling the plays. He always finds a way to make things happen. But I personally believe that our defense is going to be the backbone of the team next year. I mean, We're bringing back a lot of studs, our linebackers, Jack Winey, Jay Martinez, our linemen. We got Nick Ladaro coming back, freshman Nas. We got a bunch of guys that are going to. Well, he's not a freshman; he's going to be a sophomore. But we got a lot of guys on the defense that when they play together, like we saw in the national championship, they can do some special things, which I'm excited to watch. And we got Zach Boyce coming back, Jaden Alfano St. John, two elite players in the backfield. I mean, we lost a few on offense, me and JJ, but I think that they got a lot of success on their way.
Rebuild and do it again, man. That's the name of the game. But outside of the obvious ones being just knowing how to win, what are some of the takeaways from that staff, whether it is Coach Fitz or other members of the staff over there at Cortland? What are some of the takeaways from them that have helped you throughout maybe even this process while you were playing, or also transitioning now to try and get a spot on a professional roster? What are some of the takeaways from those guys and that staff?
Yeah, just keeping the faith, going back to that Grove City game. I mean, we had our backs against the wall. Like, if you were watching that game, you probably counted us out, but we were on the sideline that whole time. We kept the faith. I remember going up and down the sideline saying, we're going to win the game. We're going to win the game. I don't know how, but we're going to win the game. And when they kicked the field goal, went up, and it was off by about 6, maybe 12 inches. And we won the game. And I think that was all just because of the faith. We had so much faith in each other, our coaches. And, each game we just kept on winning, and our faith got bigger and bigger until we got to the grand finale against North Central, big bad North Central Division III. And we gave them our best shot. And now I'm going to give my best shot to the league and see what happens.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And that was monumental for the landscape when it comes to Division III. You talk about that side of, your bracket and people talking about the strength of the playoffs and all these things come into question. And it's great for a team to come out of the woodwork and just throw shit all over the place, because then you disrupt all these norms. You talk about an area of the country that maybe hasn't seen that much success at this level, and a school that gets it done for the first time. But we were talking about a graphic earlier, teams that haven't had losing seasons since 1997. Cortland Red Dragons on that graphic. Might have been the first time you got it done on the national stage, but this program is not a first to the playoffs. This is certainly not a year of firsts last year. So I think I'm sure you would agree, there's a lot more to come from this squad, man.
Oh, yeah, that's a testament to Coach Fitz. I mean, the moment he got here, he's been here this is going to be his 4th season. I mean, 5th counting COVID, but since he's gotten here, the team's been going up and to the right the whole time. And I'm excited to see how much further he takes his team, maybe get a couple more championships and back to Park Center. And yeah, I mean, he's a great coach, and I'm really excited to see how much more they can win.
Oh yeah. Well, man, whether it's a late round pick or it's a UDFA type deal, what you know is you're going to get yourself a shot, right? It's all about getting your foot in the door wherever it's at. And I think you've done a really good job of just checking all the boxes, right? I'm sure you guys talk about that all the time. It's something we talk about on this show of, for guys at our level, all you need to do is give them no reasons to turn you down off the bat. And then now you've got yourself at least at an OTA, a camp, whatever the hell it is, in a mini camp and those kind of things, earning your shot. That's just got to be what you're looking forward to right now, right, as far as next steps. And just it'll be nice to hopefully have some kind of plan in place looking forward and see what's in store for you.
Yeah, just getting my foot in the door is the main thing. Once I'm there, then I just give my best shot and play football. Play football with the best players in the world. So that's been my dream my whole life, and it's something that's right around the corner. So I've been training, I've been working my tail off for it, and I'm excited to see what happens. But yeah, definitely gonna get my chance.
Hell yeah. Sweet, Cole. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. That's all I got for you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. I've been watching the show this past season, and I like what you're doing with D1 Rejects. It's cool for small school guys.
You're the man. You're just another great part of it, brother. I'm excited to see where you end up, man. Got a fan in me for sure.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Sweet. See you, Cole.